fondeg and other stuff that I needed for today, and I was able to get some water. So I'm back, and I'm going to be about a kind of a shorter stream, about 10-15 minutes, just mostly because there's so many mosquitoes here, just insane. I've got about 40 mosquitoes on my legs, so trying to get through my pants. So let me hook up the microphone too, get a little better sound. And I got some shots here in the with the Nikon camera, so I'll be uploading that. Pretty sure those came out. And, just a minute. I was able to charge up my phone too. So, all right, this is the take 2. Kind of a later morning live stream. It's a little past lunchtime here, or it's still lunchtime, but for me, it's just getting through breakfast a little bit. I started around 7 o'clock this morning. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's been about 5 hours. So that is worth getting this live stream shot here from this angle. Notable is the doghouse or whatever for the cryos stuff. I heard it was that building that they had loosened up in one of the videos that I got with the Nikon recently, and it's still there. Starship Gazer, I got some good footage. I briefly looked at one of his shots, but it's still there. Hey, 6 String Simpleton, salam, ether, yeah, salam. So it's still there, the doghouse thing, crowding. Just heard a big something drop, type of big metal something, and you can see the orbital tank farm to the right there. Looks like they're wheeling in a bunch of gravel, large stone on the left side of the, we can see it right there in front of us. Let's see if it's going to go into the below. Let me get a shot up there. It's like they're pouring some of the large stone. I'm not sure where. Oh, they're going in. It's going in. No, just behind the backhoe there. So they're grading the area, it looks like, and moving around some of the big stone. I don't know. I was trying to possibly get a look inside to see if they'd filled in the crater yet or not. So I may walk further to the left and see if anything looks any flatter from the left. Running low on battery too. So, so Ether says got to visit the site during 4/17. Yeah, it is big up close. That's correct. Hey, Paul Shields, good morning. From France, Andre Perot. Still looks to see, Paul. I've heard possibly, but I'm trying to see. If I can get that shot from maybe further to the left here, that'd be a good thing to do today, this morning. Tons of these small mosquitoes. I don't know if they patched anything. There is actually something, that's a good question, because I just looked to where you were maybe talking about, and I see something that I'll point out in a minute. Just a minute, Dan. So they're moving around that gravel pretty quickly, so they're pouring it on the east side of the launch pad there, just outside of the area. See the top of the, let me use the hand. This is the top of the ring. At the bottom of the ring, just outside of that ring area, it looks like they're using the skid steer on the right. They're dropping the gravel down with the dozer, and then they're pushing it in with the skid steer underneath. So they're bring it from there to here, and they're using that skid steer to push it under the pad there. So looks like that's what they're doing there. So they're getting it from this pile on the left. From over here, the truck, they're taking it with a dozer over here, and then skid steer's pushing it under. That's what it looks to me, at least. Yeah, let's check it out. Dan's question about the reason I'm shifting over is because it does look like there's a patch up there, and I'll get a closer shot. That would be a LOX tank, and it looks like they did maybe do some welding up there and patch it up. Let me get that shot. I haven't been back here since the last time I live streamed from back here, so I think it's several days. Yeah, it looks like that's been patched up there. I gotta get it shot with the maybe the Nikon. I can get a shot of that. Yeah, okay, that's another one. Elevator on the OLIT. Has the elevator gone up? I haven't seen the elevator go up or not. Do we see them compressing the filling material? The filling material for what? You're talking about the what's it called? There's a type of insulation that goes between the inner tank and the outer tank for the tank farm. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I haven't seen any. They haven't moved in any machinery to heat up and inject the stuff for the insulation between the tanks. Any part of the water-cooled flame shield? Yeah, I haven't seen any, but I haven't been looking for any water-cooled stuff. Yeah, I haven't seen any elevators going up or down yet. And maybe one thing we can look out for that is when they change some of the lights on the tower, if we get like a red light or a green light or something like that, maybe that'll be an indicator that the tower is active again, you know. About a week ago, late at night, I saw someone moving around on the launch platform, and then they climbed up into this area up here in the upper chopstick area with a flashlight. Two different people with chopstick with lights. So they were on the orbital launch platform and then the chopsticks. But I hadn't seen anyone up until recently. There were some people up in the quick disconnect way higher up. But maybe the only way they're getting up to the quick disconnect is using the aerial lifts, possibly, because they have been having some of the white aerial lifts go up on the left side of the tower here, take them up, and maybe that's how they've been getting up to the top there. I have not seen anyone up at the top of the tower yet, but it doesn't mean they haven't been there. Just I haven't seen them. Good stuff. Good stuff. Wretched asks if the wildlife are scared away. What were the visible impacts of the wildlife in your honest opinion? Okay, yeah, so that's a good question, Wretched. That is a wretched question. You know, I don't know if wildlife have much of a memory. I know they have a reflex, and so I don't know if it made much of an impression on the long lifetime of some of the wildlife in this area. I mean, wildlife on a daily basis have to go up against other creatures trying to eat them and things like that. So if they just had a large noise in the lifespan of some of the wildlife out here, if they lived through it, and I haven't seen any large evidence of wildlife death out here, but if they did live through it, then it probably didn't have much of an impact on their whole life view, since they don't have much of a memory. So, you know, they probably responded and left the area, but as far as being shocked for the rest of their life and needing to go through therapy and stuff like that, I don't think the wildlife had any of that going on. Yeah, you're welcome. Good question, though. I'd like to be able to put that view out there. It's not necessarily the truth, but it's just what I'm putting out there. Okay, let me see. Rito Cadurley says the gravel under the metal piece to be installed should be compacted somehow. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen any concrete shakers. If maybe that's Reto, maybe what you're getting at. Yeah, or any rollers. I haven't seen that, but I'll keep an eye out. That's a good question. You know, before they put the heavy concrete sheeting, maybe they'll want to tamp it down. They'll probably have a bunch of guys out here with some of those tampers trying to tamp it down. Yep. Compact it. That's the correct question. Word. Water-cooled flame shield. No. Let me see. Okay, Nicholas says, I'd like to buy a stone, but the federal police of Brazil will mutate me if I buy it. You know, we have, people have bought from all over the world, from Australia, from Germany, I think from Germany. Once it hits, there's like a international shipping location on eBay. And once it hits there, I haven't really looked too much into where it's going after that, because they make sure I ship it as a harmonization code of brick, cement brick. So it's shipping as brick, and that's what it is. So you may be able to ship it to Brazil. Hey Bill, sure. Maybe send me I'll mail you a box, Bill. No worries. Wouldn't hurt if you send a little money too, but I will mail you a box either way. Send me your address and we'll do it. Enough gravel to stop erosion. Okay, erosion in where? It will add to the erosion reduction. There are some prices on the eBay store, Bill, but if you want to pay direct through some other method, we could do that, and it could be say a little cheaper. Maybe send me a message. My phone number is 956-338-8552. I've got the boxes. Flat rate box allows me to ship up to 34 pounds. I can pack it full of all kind of stuff. And I think that's the best option. I have it on eBay for like $119. And in the description of this video, there's a link, the top link in the description is to the eBay store. And people have been getting the mix box or just a straight white colored stone box. And I put in some certificates of authenticity with that too, like a photo of me and some of the stone and some words. So if you ever wanted to show that to people, and you can, it's a good thing. But phone number here is 956-338-8552. There's a new item that I'll get in the shot, just because it's nice to be in the shot when you're talking about stuff like this. I'm wearing all this stuff because there's a ton of mosquitoes out here. We have a new item, so it's kind of expensive, but we have some of the booster on the top. There's like 140-foot piece of booster stringer. I think it's called a stringer, and it's like a thicker metal. And the MSX people got a hold of some. It's within the last year from a piece of booster from the last 12 months, I think. So we're thinking to cut it up into inch-long pieces or maybe 3-inch pieces. So I put 2 different sizes, and so some of the money is going to be donated to MSX, Makerspace X, the nonprofit, but the other amount's going to be for the channel here to keep us going and help us expand it, et cetera, et cetera. But it's a great opportunity. Not easy to find, I don't think. Some of the booster metal. So I put that in the eBay store. I think the 1-inch size and then the 3-inch sizes. And we just put it up today and to see how whether people want it or not. So. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so we'll have a steady live stream. Sound like they're going to do a lift. They just blew the horn there. Let me get on the camera once more. Let me see. I'll get on the camera once more. I do appreciate the orders we've gotten, and for most of you, maybe in the beginning there may have been a typo on the word fondage versus frontage. If you want another certificate to print out, I can send you a link to something you can print out with the correct word there. On the very first orders that went out, I had a typo in the certificate that I sent out. And so I appreciate the orders, and that's been allowing me to be here when there's not a ton of work going on, and not a ton of excitement, but there is steady work, and if we continue like this, we'll be able to keep filming. And if they launch and if they have another rocket out here in the next month or 2 months, we'll be able to keep following it. So over the last year, I've done a lot of work at other locations. I've gone up to Portland, Oregon. I've done some work up there. I've been to Georgia, another job over there. I've been to Western Texas on another job. I've been to a place in Arizona more recently, working at a power plant there. I've been up to Connecticut, been to Florida, and recently I just went to where did I go? Ohio, working at a power plant in Ohio. So I can get work, and I can make about $1,500 a week doing that kind of work somewhere around the country. But if we can keep the channel going, that's what your purchases. Not only are you getting an awesome piece of history here from SpaceX, the first the actual pad, the launch pad, but and maybe some of the metal going into the future, and it's a win-win for everybody, I think. So thank you so much. And I'll try and keep getting better cameras and better views. So. Beth Jesus, similar to Jeff, but not Jeff Beth. Maybe Jeff Beth Jesus. That's maybe a distant relative. Thanks for being here, Beth. It's good stuff. Okay, Carl says the gravel is being placed on top of the geomat to make a solid working surface. That's cool. A geomat, huh? I've never heard that term before. Bring a liter of repellent off. Yeah, I don't. Nicholas recommends maybe using some off spray. I don't use any chemicals like that. I'm into the natural stuff, and even with the natural stuff, I don't like to put hormones on my body. So I like to keep the natural hormones of this body being dominant. So I've got to. Not only am I not looking to use any chemicals, I'm not looking to use any hormones. So that's the situation I'm in. So that would definitely work, though, Nicholas. Spoonerism. I gotta learn what that word means. Interesting. Thanks. Okay, Paul Shields says, to stop the erosion in the pit, must fill with gravel up to and a bit higher than the water line. Okay, that's interesting. Up to and a bit higher than the water line. Okay. Okay, Beth Jesus says a vertical error in which a speaker accidentally transposes the initial sounds of letters of two or more words, often to humorous effect, as in the sentence you have hissed the mystery lectures. I got you. Interesting. Yeah, I've done that myself in the past as well. Just switch the letters of two of the words in a sentence. Good stuff. It's getting hot out here, though. It's starting to get hot. I know when I was out here for the morning live stream, I hadn't drinking any water since last night. I have a stash of water at the remote camera site, so I went over there and last night I charged up the battery pack over there for the my backup battery for the camera and everything. And so when I went there this morning, I got some water, and but it's getting hot out here, that's for sure. Got to go get some water today. Let me see. So maybe a summary, kind of a wrap-up summary. Is the speaker still the Walmart you bought a long time ago? I'm using an Anchor battery that was donated by a viewer a while back. Let me zoom out. This is I still got this battery. There were two. I think I recently loaned one battery or lost one battery to another person. This is an Anchor battery. It has kind of the best thing that I've found in the last 2 years, or was given. It's got 3 USB inputs and then two charging things, and it's you can hook up to your iPhone to this for 24 hours and get power all day. If you were to live stream all day, you get about 12 hours of live streaming, I believe, with this. It's a PowerCore 26800. PowerCore 26800. It's a real good one. I had some cheaper ones I got from Walmart too, and they didn't last as long, but this is a real nice one. But as time goes on, I'll be able to soup up more and more some of that stuff. So I'll probably do another 2-3 minutes and then wrap it up. We're almost at 25 minutes here. Okay, Beth says the Curious Droid, probably another channel, just made a very informative video on how you could fix the launchpad. So I guess the Curious Droid maybe is a YouTube channel. Okay, Bill asks, was the steel wall where the cable is thick or thin? Okay, yeah, I'll zoom in on that. I think that's a pretty thick wall over there, Bill. You're talking about this thing here. I've gotten some shots of that. I think it's a pretty thick metal. Just to fix the zoom capability, zoomed. I can get a few shots maybe with the camera after this live stream and post them here in the community section, so you can see it. But a pretty thick wall, so it's kind of impressive that it got punctured so many times, punctured through. I guess if we see them take that away and roll in a new large spool, there's a large spool in there, right? And they moved it in one day, and then they built that structure around it. If they take that apart and roll that spool out of there and put a new one in, then that'll mean something. So I wanted to ask, last night around 12:45 in the morning, this morning, around 12:45, on the opposite side of the tank farm, there was like I just finished up a live stream and I didn't continue, but there was a truck that had moved into the position with a crane, and there were a bunch of guys on the far side of the thing over there. Did anyone see what they did last night in the middle of the night with that almost like an cattle transport vehicle type thing? They had a crane all prepped up with about 5 or 6 guys on the other side of the tank farm over there, and they were getting ready to do something. I can ask a few times, maybe on another live stream tonight and maybe tomorrow, see if anyone saw what had happened with that crowd, and then share the info if I learn what it was. But there's stuff we can look forward to. They're going to probably lift up and off these, at least 1 or 2 of these tank covers here, GSC tank covers. And people have been talking about some type of horizontal covers over also getting moved in or something. SpongeBob it. Interesting. Doug, nice to see you. Good stuff. All right. So we'll, in the next 60 seconds, we'll close it down here. It is May 4th. After lunchtime, it is about 12:40 p.m. in the afternoon, Central Time in South Texas. This is the SpaceX launch site. It's where the first integrated was the word SpaceX used. The first booster Starship combo launch was out of here, and maybe we'll see another launch in a few months, possibly. May the 4th be with you, says Paul. And yeah, and tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, if you're in the area, if you're in the Brownsville area, Jack at MSX, the nonprofit, said they're going to have some type of a large 10-foot Cinco de Mayo gathering on the side of the road at one of the rocket type thing setups with some food or something. So if you're in Brownsville, check it out. I'm probably not necessarily going, but I'm passing along the info. All right. Be well. Whenever you watch this, wherever you're watching from right now. Look forward to anything you want to share here, any comments or stuff in the video. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And that's it. All right, this is some good stuff going on here at SpaceX, and I like coming out and watch it as well. In 5, 4, 3, 2.